Hi there, my name's Oliver Linton. I'm a retired physics teacher and I'm very interested in the way birds fly. Now it's obvious to anybody that a bird gets its forward propulsion by flapping its wings up and down. But how can an up and down motion produce forward thrust? Well, I've got a little device here with which I'd like to show you exactly how this is done. There are two ways really. In one way a wing can flex and in this way produce forward propulsion. But even more surprising, even a rigid wing moving up and down can produce forward thrust. Let me show you. Here's a little device which I've made to show the principles of flapping flight. We have here a balsa wood lath about 1 inch wide and 1/16 of an inch thick. At the end, 2 business cards. I've scored them so that they can flap up and down. Just fastened to the lath with a paper clip. And the whole business is going to be pumped up and down by this little motor here, driven by a battery. See what happens. As the wings are pumped up and down, you can see them slightly flexing as they go around, and this pushes the air backwards and causes the lath to rotate at quite a satisfactory speed. Of course, it won't rotate in the other direction. If I try to make it rotate in the other direction, it stops and continues in the forward direction. Surprisingly, it isn't actually necessary for the wings to flap. Here I've replaced the scored business cards with 2 cards which are rigidly fixed, and they're totally horizontal. So that they're simply going to flap up and down without any flexing at all. And you might think, well, this is pointless, it's just going to flap up and down. There's no reason why it should go that way or that way, because it's exactly symmetrical. But just watch what happens. Oh, did that surprise you? Certainly surprised me when I first saw it. Let's just try it again. See, does it always rotate in the same direction? If so, why? Well, yes, it certainly appears to, but maybe there is some kind of slight asymmetry. Let's just see if it'll rotate in the other direction. Well, maybe it isn't going quite as fast in the other direction, but it certainly is rotating in the other direction. You might think, well, maybe it's something to do with the precise angle of the business cards. Let's just have a look at that. I tried to make them as level as I could. Supposing I give them a twist, so as to make it like a propeller, will this perhaps force it to go in one direction rather than in another? Well, let's have a look. Okay, so that's rotating anti-clockwise. Let's just give it a push in the other direction. Well, how about that? It rotates just as well in the other direction. What is going on here? Supposing I put them so that they're angled in the same direction. Maybe that will force a rotation in one direction rather than in another. Okay, so that's rotating anti-clockwise, as it has done most of the time. Let's give it a push in the other direction. No, it'll rotate just as well in either direction, regardless of the angle of the wings. Well, I haven't got time really to go into the details and the physics of this, but it turns out that when a wing flaps up and down, if it's stationary, it'll have no tendency to move in either direction. But if it's moving forwards like this, from right to left, then it doesn't matter what angle the wing is at, as it flaps up and down, if it's moving forwards, it's actually propelled forwards. So if it's moving from left to right and flapping up and down, it'll be propelled from left to right. So it doesn't actually need a flexible wing to enable a flapping wing to produce propulsion. All that is needed is an up and down motion of the wing, and that always causes a propulsion force in the direction of the way the wing is already moving. If you want any more details about the physics of this, have a look at my website.